Hi, I'm Beth Carell with Step Function Coaching, and today we're going to talk about how to have a really good career conversation. These are so awkward. That's the problem. And that's why managers and employees don't go out of their way to have more career conversations, career development conversations, because nobody really knows what to say and it gets weird. And anyway, this is how I want you to approach it so that it gets easier and it has structure and you leave with really clear actions. So, number one, you need an opening line. As with any conversation, you need a good opening line to make yourself feel comfortable. So the best opening line when it comes to talking about your career is to just say, hey, I've been thinking about what's next for me. It's so easy. It's so easy. And there's no shame in that. There's no embarrassment. There's no reason to not just come out and say that. I've been thinking about what's next for me. It doesn't mean that you're leaving tomorrow. It just means that you've been thinking about your career, and that's admirable. So I've been thinking about what's next for me, and I want to pick your brain, or I want to get your thoughts, or I want to get your insights, or I want to bat some ideas around with you. Okay, there's your opening line. Now you know how to kick it off. I've been thinking about what's next for me in my career, and I want to pick your brain a little bit on what I think might be next. Okay, now you need some structure. And a great way to approach this conversation is to leverage something that I do with my clients, and it's called the experience map. And I won't go through that in detail right now, but I'll give you just the high level overview of what I mean by that, and the reason that we talk about experiences rather than jobs or roles specifically by title. Because you don't know, and you don't want to box yourself in to what is the next role for you. You want to keep it open, and you want there to be lots of opportunities by talking about what experiences you want to get next. So a great structure for this is to remind the person that you're talking to what experiences you've already had and what you're really good at. Because sometimes they forget. Maybe you haven't worked for this person for very long, or maybe it's a mentor and they don't really know deeply what all of your experiences are. So just at a very high level, remind them that you've spent time in these certain areas and you've already led teams, or maybe haven't led teams, that you've worked with cross-functional partners in certain spaces, and that you've designed and implemented certain things, whatever the case might be, what experiences you've had, and then more importantly, what experiences you want to get next. What experiences you want to get next is where we want to spend the bulk of the conversation. Okay? So that's how you can just structure it to say, let me just remind you of the things that I feel really good about already. This, and this. Here's what I feel like I need more of, or what I want more of, to either feel more fulfilled or to get the skills and experiences that I need to get to the next level. I think that I need to get some experience leading more people, or leading a larger program, or navigating through really complex situations, or just getting visibility with higher level leaders, or getting a chance to show that I have a vision and that I can work more strategically. Those are the types of experiences I want to have next. Then you talk about how you could get those. So how might we go about getting those? What roles might be a good fit for me next based on the fact that those are the things I want to get out of my next role. And if a next role isn't in the very near future for you, it doesn't mean that you can't get assignments or opportunities that still target those experiences. That's what's so beautiful about this structure. So this is reminding them, this is kind of checking off two things in this one conversation. You're reminding this person of the great things that you've already done and have experience with, and you're also being very clear about what you'd like to get next. Now, what's critical in this conversation is that you invite feedback from them. And I say invite very intentionally, because without an invitation, a lot of people are not comfortable telling you what your weaknesses are, what your blind spots might be, or what opportunities you still have. They're not comfortable just saying, I don't think you're seeing the whole picture here, until you invite that from them. And you say, tell me if I'm off on any of this. Tell me what you think. Do you think these are the right next experiences for me? Do you agree that the things I feel that I'm already strong in, or do you think there's more work to be done there? Like, I need you to give it to me straight. And that opens up the door. That really frees them up to say, okay, you're inviting this feedback. I'm going to tell you because you specifically asked me. And then you can have this really good conversation. And then the final thing that you want to do in this conversation to round it out and make it just perfect is to end with action items, to end with what exactly is the next thing, right? What is each party going to do going out of this conversation? Is there anything specifically that they need to do for you? Is there anything specifically that you need to take as a next step? Perhaps they want you to speak to someone in another department about opportunities on their team, or perhaps they want you to give something some more thought and come back to them in a week and let them know what you've come up with. But either way, you want to walk away with clear actions from this conversation, and then having this conversation about quarterly is probably the right cadence, and I think will really help move things forward for you. So remember, you need that good opener, you need a little bit of structure, you need to invite their feedback, and you need to walk away with clear actions.